Live from Radio Lebanon 96.2 FM, this is Script to Screen with host Alan Mehanna.
Hello and welcome to Season 2 of Script to Screen here on Radio Lebanon 96.2 FM. To start things off, I hope you all had a wonderful Happy New Year, the end of 2017, beginning of 2018, which is hopefully going to be an epic year. And to start off our epic year, we have a very special guest with us here today. But I'll ensure to keep her a surprise a little longer here to get things started off. This is the first official videotaped episode. So hello everybody who is going to be eventually watching us on video. This is going to be fantastic. It's going to be a great year. I have a very eclectic, variety-filled, colorful list of guests coming to us here on Script to Screen in Season 2. So, without further ado, our very special guest for Season 2's premiere episode, Lebanese actress Miss Cynthia Khalifeh. Welcome, my dear.
Hello, Alan.
How are you?
I'm very good, and I'm super happy to be the first guest of the second season of Script to Screen.
It is quite a great thing. It is quite a great thing. Cynthia, if you know, since this is your first time here on the show, this is a show for us to have conversations, to have honest conversations about the industry, about specifically your position as an actress in this industry. We want to talk honestly. We want to talk frankly. And hopefully people who are listening, people who are watching, will benefit from this conversation and will learn something. So as I always do in the first segment of Script to Screen, let us get to know a little bit more about you, how you got into this industry. What was it about acting that got you excited? What was that moment where you realized this is really what I want to do? Why don't you share with us? Why don't you let us know?
All right, for sure. I don't know, I think that usually when you have a hobby that's related to art specifically, you kind of discover this at an early age. So when I was in school, I was always excited for plays, for anything related to art, to singing, to acting. It was always my passion. And whenever I watched anything on Disney, for example, at our time, I'm sure you remember Lizzie McGuire and stuff. And it was always the dream that I wanted to be this young star and stuff. So it was always something I wanted to do. And I used to share this with my family. And I started with Abdo with George Khabaz and Yorgo Shaloub. I was kind of 10 years old, and that's because I really pressured my father to call George Khabaz. We were friends from Batoon, and to tell him that my daughter wants to act. So this is how it happened, and then I stopped for high school, and then I went, and then MTV opened in 2009. I was still in school, and I went without telling my parents for the casting, and it actually happened. You know what I mean? So it's just I think that usually, and the same thing goes for acting. I was in the first year of university, and I was in class. I was at the office of my professor, and a producer comes in and he was like, okay, so listen, we need some actresses that are young for a new film. And I was sitting in the corner and I was like, well, me? And so I pushed for it. And I always tell everybody, really, if you have a dream, if you want, don't wait for it to come and knock on your door. This will never happen. You have to go and push for it. And this goes on and on with all my projects. So basically this is how I started, and it's going really good now. Projects are going bigger. Even I'm going into more developed departments. I'm going a bit more out of acting too. So I think we're going to speak about this today.
Of course we are. So you said you kind of didn't tell your parents when you went on to audition, and you went on casting.
Then to party.
Well, okay, yeah, we'll talk about the partying later. But do you have support? Were your parents supportive in the beginning when they found out that this is really kind of what Cynthia wants to do? Or was there the typical kind of Lebanese parent who is like, why don't you do this as a hobby and try to get something that will get you more stability and all that stuff? Was there that kind of a struggle in the beginning, or were they fully supportive from the get-go?
Fully supportive, and I'm very grateful for that. But as artists, I'm sure you know that too. Sometimes you go through downfalls in your career, and I kind of ask this question: why were they that supportive? Why didn't they tell me that it's more stable to go into another industry? But no, like I can tell that I'm very, very thankful for my parents. I was really young when I got into this industry, but they were really fully supportive from A to Z, and they never stood in against me.
Well, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's a great support system to have. Speaking of support systems, I've been a big critic over the concept of, that us in Lebanon here, we lack. We have a lacking in the community, of whether it be for filmmakers or producers or actors, or there's a lack in the community, right? Mm-hmm. There's a lack of this community effort, this teamwork. You almost feel like there's always this sense of jealousy or envy or ugly competition. Horrible. Have you had experiences of that with when you were first starting?
Of course I did. I believe that there's no strong community of artists in the filmmaking business in Lebanon that are really together and homogeneous. Probably this is related to the differences in the cultural differences. Probably we know well that today you have this small niche of artists that are doing alternative cinema, that are doing short films, that are working quite respectfully with the business, and we have the other side, which is more towards TV, and we're sad about this, but we cannot deny it, that is not really like this, so you have really a sort of really different two communities of filmmakers in Lebanon, but I feel like with age and with our generation, Alan, and I'm sure we're gonna reach a certain middle point where we're gonna really be controlling and giving some good quality products in the filmmaking business.
And this is something that I also aim to constantly talk about this. I say this to my students all the time, that you are the future. We are the future.
Of course.
My generation and your generation, we're probably going to be the forefront of this change, but it's up to the future generations to carry through on that change.
Definitely.
Because it's really, I think this is what makes our industry, it gives it a lot of weaknesses, is because we have, two different parties in the same industry.
Exactly.
We have two competing parties in the same industry. And this is something that creates a lot of conflict and weaknesses.
Exactly. Very true.
And so I had asked you if you had experienced this earlier on. And now you said that you feel like there is this new forming community, right, of these artists who are trying to go against the grain of the typical Lebanese kind of production, which it is sad already as a fact to have to say,
talk about
negative,
it and describe it that way,
in a negative way, to say that the
true.
Lebanese Lebanese production is kind of a negative. It has a negative connotation. What kind of things are you doing to be a part of that new community?
All right, so I'm kind of taking a little break from TV, and because I'm really saturated. I mean, I would never say that it didn't help me so much. It gave me a lot of experience, PR. I really gained all my experience from TV experiences because I did a lot, But you get to a point where you say, okay, now, I acquired all this experience. I have the talent. I know I can make it, but I'm not gonna still be doing this, you know what I mean? So this is why I'm taking a little break. I'm focusing more into working with independent artists, with young artists, writers, filmmakers, and I have many plans of productions this year. Hopefully they will come to life. I have different kind of productions that I'm planning to work on with various artists and friends, specifically in Lebanon.
So we were talking about you wanting to start to spread out far from, bless you, far from your acting. Tell us more, because this is exciting, because I think it's very interesting when, and this is something that I kind of went through as well. It's interesting when as we journey through life, we stay within the same industry, but our interests kind of start shifting. Yeah. And we see where there is a lack, and we're like, okay, maybe I can do this. Maybe I can fill this lack.
Exactly.
So tell us more.
Yeah. So, Alan, my top passion in this industry is acting. I'm an actress by nature. But the thing is, I'm already 25, and I've been in the business for 10 years, and I still did not get not even close to a role that I want to play. And I was like, okay, so am I gonna still sit and wait and for the role that I want to play and I dream of playing? Actually, no. I really want to produce this role. I want to probably write this role, co-write this role, and this is how it all came from. Whether it was in TV, I'm a TV presenter too, and I have things to say. So I really wanna. I'm thinking I have plans of doing TV shows that I would produce and create, and at the same time in the movie industry. So this is how it came from, and these are my resolutions and my plans for 2018. I'm no longer gonna. I probably unless if I get a great super role and a great super project, but I'm not gonna take anything that's not coming from me anymore.
Oh, wow. Okay. So this is really interesting because I feel like the film industry as a whole, whether it be here in Lebanon or globally, I feel like a lot of filmmakers are now realizing that the studio system in and of itself, the studio system is not working, because what the studio system is producing is all of these very formulaic films. Now, of course, there's a big difference between formulaic films in America and
Sure.
what we get here. Formulaic films in America we can still sort of watch and enjoy.
True, exactly.
Versus what we're getting here. But it's still kind of the same idea. When I look at 2017, the majority of the films that really affected me were those independent films, because they were delving into deep characters. They were giving us stories, complex characters, flawed characters. You're not seeing those in the studio system.
True.
So I almost feel like this is kind of the future of cinema as we know it, is this self-producing.
True.
We're going back to this idea of, you know what, if you're not going to give me what I want, I'm going to do it.
It's true.
And this is kind of where I'm at as a writer. Like, I haven't been able to find someone to produce the kind of writing that I want to do, which is these flawed, complex characters with the layered storylines.
Yeah.
So I almost I share your motivation and your passion.
See, and that's why I believe, Alan, you have the same situation as me. We're friends. We connect on a personal level, and this is how real good teams happen. You know what I mean? And I think this is what's gonna be controlling the business in the
future.
In the next few years. It's
Let's
you,
hope
me,
so.
and people like us, that
Let's
are
hope
really,
so.
really passionate, and they really want to do some decent productions.
Now let's go back to your, to your journey as an actress here in Lebanon, because I understand that your career so far hasn't really brought you where you want to be ideally, but you have done a lot in those 10 years.
Yeah.
You've taken on a lot of roles. Some were kind of similar, but some were very different, very
varied.
Very varied. I still know a lot of my students still to this day talk about your role in Ahmed Christina, because it was such a you really portrayed the hippie kind of feel. You portrayed that really well. What were your experiences like when you started getting these roles and started showing up, not as a presenter, but being a part of television series in general?
Yeah.
What was that journey like?
I was a young, passionate, full of energy little girl. That's how we can describe it. I had no one around me that had experience in the field. My parents come from more of a scientific background, not of an artistic background. So it was just very spontaneous, authentic, and chaotic. I just wanted to act. I just wanted to take these roles. There was nothing studied. There was nothing planned, as in image. I had no consultants. I had nothing. It was really purely authentic. And I'm very happy and I'm very lucky that people loved me with all this chaotic, wave that I came with in this industry. It's not easy. I can know that they really love me for who I am.
That is something that I do appreciate a lot about you, is that it's like what you see is what you get. It's you've never been one to hide away your thoughts, your opinions, your mind. One can say that you're almost somewhat politically incorrect because of the fact that you are very honest with who you are. You like me, great. You don't like me, you can move on. And this is kind of why your success has been
probably constant.
It's because, again, it's what you see is what you get.
It's just
transparency and honesty, and again, this genuine human being. And that is something that I have to applaud you for, because you're right. It's not easy, especially in the world that we live in today.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially in Lebanon.
Exactly. And even if like I participated in a lot of projects that were not probably a top, because I did a lot. Well, some of them were a success. The others were less, I never regretted anything. And I really tell everybody here, I mean, you're in Lebanon. It's a tiny industry. You don't have plenty of offers out of which you can like select get experience. When you're young, you need experience. You need to become a beast, You need to gather experience as much as you want. When you become a beast, or you think that you become a beast, this is where you start doing your own thing. And I think I've came to this point now that خلاص, I'm saturated. I can say أنا بيني وبين حالي that I've become a beast, and I now I want to do my own thing. But I always tell the people that are young in this industry, like I meet a lot of talents that come to me for advices, and I really want to give them the real advice, and they're like, okay, no, we're selecting, we don't want to do this, we don't want. No, just go and gather experience and meet people. It's always going to be beneficial. Just don't sit on the couch, So yeah. Yeah, I don't regret any project I've done, and neither on TV nor on cinema. I believe that everything have made me who I am today, and what I have today.
Any experience is good experience, whether it's bad experience or excellent experience. It's an experience.
Definitely.
And this is going to shape you as an artist. It's going to shape you as a human being.
Definitely.
And I definitely agree with everything that you said. Especially because in Lebanon, you do have this, the young, those who are currently now in university, they're studying this industry, they're expecting to graduate and then immediately be at the top.
True. We had the same idea, you know?
And you kind of have to remember that, no, you know what? I'm starting from the bottom. I have to start from the bottom and get my way up to to the top. And then, even then, you're still a student of the industry. Even then, you're still learning. And even then, you're still evolving.
Very true.
This is one of the industries where learning doesn't stop, and experiences don't stop, and failure never stops.
Never stops.
Failure never stops.
Thank you. You have your highlights and you have your lowlights, and it's always there. Even the biggest stars, they're stars for a period, and for another period, they're going downfall. And we should get used to this. And I mean, I got used to this, and I'm okay with it. Completely okay. And
again, this adds to why you are such a strong personality, because you're okay with, failures. Failure. Failure is the best teacher out there.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so out of with the projects that you have coming up, you said that you wanted to start spreading and start talking and meeting other young filmmakers who are just as driven and passionate and energetic.
Yeah, exactly.
Energy is important, energetic as you are. Do you have anything on the horizon that you're sort of working with that you can sort of tease, and don't overshare? Because I know everything is under wraps in this industry, but like
I'm working on a very cool let's say TV show.
Okay.
Hopefully it will come to life. It's a different kind of TV show. I'm kind of saying goodbye to TV with it.
Okay.
After so many years.
Is this like a series, or is this more like a presenter type thing?
Presenter type thing, but it's a very cool content. And I mean, how I'm gonna execute it, I see it's gonna be kind of a like
something
like
with
a revolution, in the TV, and let's face it, TV is dying, so I really want to do something to end my career on TV, and then of course we can replace it with online. Everything will be replaced with online. So and my second projects are going to be online based, but they're going to be more artistic, like more of an acting, like filmmaking, let's say.
Interesting.
So I want to do both, and I can't give more information.
That's fine.
But probably you're going to know, Alan. You're going to know, because we're going to sit this week, and I told you we're sitting this week. So let's play it privately.
This is how this industry starts up with stuff. You come here to do an interview, and we leave with like 10 projects.
I was going to call you anyway.
Oh, okay.
With or without this interview.
With or without the interview. Cynthia, you had said that you did go to university and you did study, but I almost feel like you didn't really do any professional acting training. Is that correct? Is that wrong of me to understand? You have done that.
Yeah, I have done that.
You have done that. Mm-hmm. And was it through workshops or was it through university?
It was a very, very cool, very intensive workshop in Barcelona called Actor Space. It was in Vic in Barcelona. I did it in 2013, and actually it really launched my let's say my academic side, my technical academic side in acting. It was really beneficial, and I keep on searching for master courses online that I take. But I'm not sure if if other actors can they're with me or not, but I don't like to go too much into the technical side of acting. You know what I mean? Like they teach you a few things that when I took these master classes online and I had a role at the same time, I felt like every time I'm in front of the camera, I'm more focusing on what the professor said rather than focusing on my feeling. And I'm known for being, feeling oriented, authentic oriented. I didn't want to go into the technical side, but I'm looking for courses that are more related to the feeling, not on the technical outer side. I would love to do this, and they have a lot of concentration meditation, which I need in the acting side. So
that's very interesting.
Yeah, I'm looking to do this. I have found few really interesting stuff in New York. Hopefully, I'll have the time and the ability
to go do it.
Exactly.
To go do it. Exactly. That's very interesting.
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so as an actress who is, before we move on another topic, this idea of focusing on the academic too much is kind of a negative. It's interesting because the other day I was talking to my parents about this, and I almost feel like because I'm a teacher and I teach screenwriting a lot, the ability for me to experiment with screenwriting and break rules and whatever has become so difficult because I'm sticking to I'm teaching the rules, I can't break them,
Very
kind
true.
of a thing.
Very true.
And I almost with the new stuff that I'm planning for this year, I almost just want to try and just let go and let the emotion and the story just come out of me without it being so, I have to do this here and I have to do that here, and kind of let go and let creativity and imagination
Alan,
kind of
sorry,
flow.
I really want to cut you because you inspired me once in that, and I'm sure you're giving it to your students, because when I was in film school, all they did is frame us. And this is so wrong in art. I mean, you did a short movie with an iPhone.
I did.
In school, they said, they used to tell us, oh no, the equipment and I don't know what, and gave us wrong ideas about experimentation. And I mean, in art, you need to experiment. There's no limit for creativity or how to practice creativity or to apply creativity. I'm so against how they give and teach cinema in the schools in Lebanon.
Universities,
and I'm sure, Alan, that you are changing this wave. And although you are forced to follow few rules, but I'm sure you give them the vibe of experimentation and freedom. I mean, this is all we need. I was talking with my friends from school yesterday, from college, from filmmaking, and we said, so for 3 years or 4 years in filmmaking, we are framed and framed and framed. And then it takes you 2 to 3 years after that to say that, no, I can break these frames and I can break these rules and some crazy shit can come out of it, Sorry for the word.
It's okay. I think my listeners are getting used to the cursing that flies out accidentally every once in a while.
But do you agree with me, right?
I do.
I mean, you did a short film with an iPhone, and it was a success.
I did. But see, this is the thing. And I feel like there needs to be a balance in the way that education teaches filmmaking. Teach the rules, but do not disallow your students to experiment.
Exactly.
Because failing at a university level is still safer than failing outside. So I would much rather our students experiment and fail at a university level, where we as a faculty can catch them and help them understand where they failed, versus them not being able to experiment at university and then go outside into the real world, experiment, and not have anybody to catch them.
Very true.
I totally agree with you on that.
Absolutely
Agree with you on that.
Yeah.
As an actress, as an actress, you said that you are not finding or having a difficult time finding the roles that you as an actress are seeking. What are those roles?
Whoa.
What are the characters that you are looking for? What are the scripts that you are looking for? What kind of, experience on set are you looking for that you right now, currently at the age of 25, as a young and up and coming actress, that you are not finding? I'm
not looking for specific roles. I'm looking for a collective work that is decent and as decent as I want it to be. I want it to be. I mean, in filmmaking, it's a group work. It's not an actress. I did my best when there were other people on set that weren't doing their best. What I want is a collective team, is a team that is doing their its best to get a decent production. This is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for perfection, and I'm sure with perfection, actors would look as good as I mean, when the script is perfect, when the acting, when the directing is perfect, when the picture is perfect, when the sound is perfect, when the post-production is perfect, when the editing is perfect, we are perfect too. We depend a lot on others. And in Lebanon, they really like judge actors. They don't know how to act. It's not us, guys. We know how to act. We do have talents, a lot of talent. It's just that we have bad editors. We have bad, I don't know, picture. We have bad, you know the situation. And so what I'm looking for is the perfect team, the perfect project where really everyone is putting out his or her best in the field.
Look, I'm gonna say something that's a little that's I've been outspoken about this before. I actually don't agree that it's a bad editor or it's a bad DOP or it's a bad whatnot. I think our biggest problem is the people who are in charge of all of these people, the people who are producing, exactly. These are the people that are making the rest of the
choices,
work more difficult. I have heard from countless editors that they are making edits of an episode of a show, and then they're having the producer come in, watch, and then make massive changes.
I know.
With the addition of overuse of music, with the addition of slow motion. Who uses slow motion anymore to create drama? Let's get over this. So I honestly don't believe that it's... I honestly don't believe that it is the actors. I do not believe that it is the directors. I do not believe that it is.
It might be, it's. But at the end, it's the what do you mean, the fault of one person, which is making the decisions and hiring the wrong people, or making. That's what I mean.
Exactly.
You're right.
We don't have, and this is why I constantly say, whether it be in my in my classes or on this show or in the articles that I write, this is why I constantly say, here in Lebanon, we have a massive melting pot of talented filmmakers in any position.
I agree.
What we do have a problem with is the guidance. It's the people with the money putting the money towards the C, D, F kind of movies.
I agree.
And not the television products that we want, not the movies that we want. And then they constantly say, yeah, well, the Lebanese people are watching and we're higher rated and whatever. I'm like, yeah, because Lebanese people are going to watch whatever you give them, but they're going to know the difference between something that's really good and then something that is...
Stop giving them. We can educate them. We can show them that there's something wrong, different and better.
Absolutely.
If we don't want to nag anymore, let's do it, Alan. 2018 is for us. I can
2018 is our year.
Yeah, it's our year. Everybody's saying this, and I promise this.
It is our year.
Yeah.
Okay, so it is a collective effort that you said. That's what you look for. You're looking for a team of people who are going to work together to produce a massively good product.
Yes.
I'm not going to say perfect because I don't believe that there is such a thing as a perfect film, but it is a perfect experience.
It's perfect when everybody's giving his best. This is where it's perfect. It's not the outcome that's perfect. It's the vibe of the team.
Yes.
Yeah.
Give me more vibes.
Yeah.
Give me more good vibes. But as an actress, are there roles that you have not played that you are still desperately wanting to play?
I mean,
is there a character in your mind that you're like, I would love to just let go and try this?
Yeah, I mean, I like complex characters. I would like to play, some femme fatale roles. I've played one. It was really nice, but I would like to play some femme fatale. I like mafia movies, gangster movies where I'm the woman leading. I'm really affected.
La Bella Mafia.
Ah, La Bella Mafia, La Femme Fatale. Exactly, some Italian, Sicilian.
See, I think that's very interesting. And this kind of takes us towards a different kind of a path here, but a problem that you also face as an actress here in Lebanon, which is the idea of typecasting.
Exactly.
Which is nobody would ever look at you and maybe at a first glance, nobody would ever look at you and go, yeah, I could see a femme fatale.
Yes,
Whereas if they got to know you a little more, maybe saw some of your photo shoot pictures where you kind of do give off that vibe, but the chance is not given because, well, we know Cynthia does this role. Yeah. And that's the producers. Again, it's the casting and the producers and all that stuff. So it's like you're going to get the
this
call.
Cute little girl. Oh, come on. I'm not cute and little anymore. I'm more hot and mature.
Script to screen, not a place for humbleness or modesty.
It's a joke.
No, I know.
It's a joke / marketing.
Yes, joke / marketing. Cynthia, have you because I know a lot of Lebanese actors do this all the time, but have you had the chance to work outside of Lebanon in projects outside of Lebanon, and were they different than the experiences that you've had here?
Yeah. I had many chances of working. I've worked a lot in Egypt.
Okay.
Yes, they are different. I can say it out loud. I really, really respect the industry there because they respect the industry. And I've worked in Turkey with Iranians and Turkish. And I really, really respect the Iranians and Turkish because they respect the industry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Point taken.
Yeah.
Very much so. In a very subtle and diplomatic way. Maybe a little bit. Okay, so then if with your spreading, with your wanting to maybe one day, hopefully, and I really wish that you are able to get to that place, to go to New York and to do the workshop. Are there any other kind of workshops that are not maybe acting based that you would love to strengthen, especially because you are now seeing yourself kind of spreading and not really just simply focusing 100% on the acting, but kind of, being this slight pseudo producer almost and all that. Are there any other areas that you would love to kind of delve back into and just get a little bit more knowledge on?
Actually, maybe you're not going to be expecting this answer, but I would like to get more knowledge about the digital world. Okay. Because I'm in it. Like, I'm sure we will be speaking about this later on. And it will be the platform for all filmmakers and artists in the future. It's the easiest platform. It's it's the platform that has the best exposure, the global exposure. I mean, you can work on a movie for years and it could be just in theaters in Lebanon, but you could do something online, very decent, very cinematical, and it could be spread very...
So you're talking about like platforms like Netflix and iFlix and all...
Yeah, or social media, or YouTube. Media. And I really want to get some insights about the secrets of this huge business that's growing immensely. Because, in production, there's distribution too, and I'm sure I'll be using this platform a lot from now on. So I want to get more and more like little secrets. I'm looking for these workshops too. I think soon we will have some very interesting workshop in Lebanon done by Telltale, an agency of a friend.
Okay.
So,
and that's going to talk about this
digital marketing, insights, how to use social media, how to have best reach, these
that's
different
stages. Because
see,
I do agree that there does seem to be this massive takeover now by things like Netflix and Hulu and Amazon Prime and iFlix now in the MENA region. But also Facebook earlier last year said that they were going to be putting like this massive amount of money to start producing original content, video content, and now YouTube has YouTube Red, which is also funding and producing their own digital content. So. Do you see this as an advantage for the new generation of filmmakers, or do you almost see it as a form that will eventually just oversaturate filmmaking and everything will kind of become
not
bland?
Not at all. The art is there, the product is there, the production is there, will always be there. We can always create and produce. It's just the platform that is different, and I don't see anything wrong with the online platform. On the contrary, I see it very beneficial because it's global and universal. Whatever you put here, if it's good, it could reach anywhere in the world. Unlike, for example, I just stated the example. Unlike cinema. Cinema will always be our baby, our hobby, our history. We will always love to go and sit in the movies and watch the film. It's always a different and best experience, but it's changing today. Today, like people would rather stay at home and scroll down and play a video of 3 minutes, and this video of 3 minutes could be purely cinematic and great content. So why not,
But isn't that harming that shared experience of the movie theater in a way? And do you think that this is why we sort of have this very bad cinematic culture nowadays? People can't seem to go sit in a movie theater without looking on this little device. It's like even in the movie theater, people are looking at this device.
You think so? Oh my God. No, I don't do this. I give it a break for 1 hour.
I don't do this. I don't personally do this, but there's a lot of other people that do.
I know. Look, I think it's shifting. I mean, we started by live ceremonies. Then it became like live, they used to call it orgy ceremonies. It was not sexual. It was more artistic. And then it became theater, where the actors are separated from the viewers, and then it evolved, the theater evolved, and the sound came in, and then we moved to cinema from the beginnings. It's changing, and now we're somewhere else. We're not gonna like stand in front of the evolution and like say no. I mean, it's changing, and
there is something a little bit. I mean, yes, you do take away the shared experience, but there is something that almost makes the experience now, if you're watching it on your phone or on your laptop with a pair of headphones, there is something about it now that makes it even more personal, almost like you're having a personal experience with the film anymore. It's no longer a shared one, but it is a personal. Like, I know for a fact that the films that I got to see, those independent films that came out last year, 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, Lady Bird, Call Me By Your Name.
Oh, Lady Bird.
I watched those films on my own, in my room, on my computer screen. And I don't know if I would have had that same experience if I was watching them in a movie theater full of distractions, full of noise, full of whatever. So there is a pro and there is a con at the same time. It is a very interesting new, arena that we are going to in the digital world. And you want to be part of that forefront here in Lebanon.
Yeah, exactly.
You want to be part of that movement.
I do, because I believe it's the future. I do. And I wanna give the chance to all of the talents to expose themselves, our talents in Lebanon, through this online. I mean, we're not gonna give more details.
No.
Over
absolutely.
Coffee, me and you.
No. That's totally
tomorrow,
fine.
4 p.m.
Sure.
check your schedule. Done. Great.
It's Sunday. I normally don't do anything.
Yeah, exactly.
It's fine. Cynthia, this has been such a very amazing episode so far.
I know.
I am totally loving everything that we've talked about. I think our listeners definitely did get something very special today. We really spoke honestly and spoke frankly, which is what the plan for my show is.
I know. I really congratulate you for show, Alan. You're doing so good.
Thank you so much. The one thing that I have made it very clear to all of my guests is that this is a show that I kind of want to be like the radio show, the Ellen of the radio. So I want to have you.
You're really
again.
Ellen. Ellen, but on the radio. Lebanese Ellen on the radio.
Except ALAN. And not ELLEN. But I definitely love to have my guests come back again. Because I know we can't necessarily talk about everything that we want to talk about in this 1 hour.
Definitely. And I would love to come back, honestly.
I would love to have you back.
I would love to come back.
So back to the show. This is the rapid fire questions. So you have not seen these questions before.
Okay. 10 questions.
They are 10 questions.
All
okay.
Right.
There's no time. It's not like you're going to win a prize or anything.
Okay.
Just be honest, be frank.
All right.
Just like you have been. Okay.
All right. Cool.
So here we go. Question 1. Instead of asking you what is your favorite film, what I'm going to ask you is, what is the film that you would defend for all time?
Oh, damn. That's a very strong, hard question. I mean, this question my answer could change every month, or every week. I think. And
this is kind of the beauty of film, that it's the fluidity and flexibility of it.
There's no limit. I mean, but right now, because I'm creatively into something very similar to this, I would say Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. You've seen the film, I'm guessing, multiple times.
I've seen it
multiple
times or something.
You do have that Uma Thurman vibe. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I told you I want to be the femme fatale. You know that? See, it's all related.
Okay, question 2. If your life could be defined as a film, what film would it be?
Oh, La La Land.
La La Land. Okay. What is a line of dialogue from a film that you will never, ever, ever forget?
Oh God, a line that I would never ever forget.
A line of dialogue.
Weird enough, yesterday it came to my mind because I was trying to pitch something for someone, and I wanted to give them a deal that they cannot refuse. So probably it's this.
You would like to give them a
deal? Yeah, it's from Godfather. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, a deal that they could not refuse. Okay. All right. So question number 4: which Lebanese actor that you have not worked with yet, because you've worked with many, which Lebanese actor would you most love to work with? And if there isn't one that you haven't worked with yet, which one would you like to work with again?
Maybe I would like to work again with Rafi Ali Ahmed.
Okay.
Yeah. And as an actor, can I say director, for example?
No, because that question is coming.
Oh, it's coming. Oh, that's a very hard question. I like to work with Simi Merab. He's got we have close vibes, and I've worked with him, and it was very interesting. So I'd like to do it again.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay, so I'm going to have you a bonus question because I love you so much. So I'm going to give you another bonus question, which is number 4 again. So which, but instead of it Lebanese, I'm going to go global. Which global actor would you like to work with?
I have 2.
Okay, go for it.
Daniel Day-Lewis and Johnny Depp, because he's hot.
You heard it first on Script to Screen, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so which global director would you love to work with?
I have 2.
Okay.
Which are Giuseppe Tornatore, because I'm so into the Italian vibe, and Woody Allen, because I
could so see you in a Woody Allen movie.
Yeah, I really want. Like, my only wish, Alan, is I want to have coffee or tea with this director before he disappears. I mean, this is my dream. You know, I love this guy.
Amazing.
Although like we've been hearing a lot of, I don't know if they're rumors or facts about him, but I don't care. I mean, he writes character-driven stories. He's so good in writing.
His personal life can stay away.
I don't care.
You just want to work with him on a business level.
Yeah, exactly.
Which global actor would you like to have you portray you in your life movie?
Sorry, I didn't get the answer.
So which actor globally would you pick to play Cynthia Khalifeh in your life film?
To play my role in my life film?
Yes.
Oh, all right. I think it's Emma Stone.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't agree?
I do agree.
Yeah.
I think I could. Yeah.
You don't?
I could see it.
I
could see it.
I see she's so like authentic and like strong, and
if you could,
we have a similar voice probably.
Yeah, probably. If you could have studied any other field than your profession, what would it have been?
Music. I would have studied music.
You're like the second person to say that to me.
Yeah.
Music. Okay. That's interesting. I feel like you've almost answered this question already, but if you could meet anyone from the industry for a cup of coffee and a good old-fashioned conversation,
Woody,
who would it be?
F. Allen.
Woody Allen. Okay, Woody Allen.
Yeah.
Number 9. What would you like to have people say about you after you are long gone? May that day be very far away. You. But what would you like people to say?
Well, just I want them to be inspired. Just like I want to be an inspiration someday.
Yeah. It's funny. I was thinking of that question, and in my mind, I was like, she made a difference. That's kind of what, like that was the sentence that came to my mind. It's like she made a difference. She was part of that movement.
I want to be a role model for people. Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, I think you are already. I think you are already. And finally, what piece of advice would you give to new filmmakers in Lebanon? And then I'm gonna add another part to that question. So answer this part, and then I'll add the second part.
Chances don't come to you. You go find them, and there would be failures.
There will be failures.
You have to just close your eyes and keep going.
And deal with it. Yeah. Okay, those are really good. And then the same kind of question, but what piece of advice would you give to women in the industry, to new women in the industry, what piece of advice would you give them?
Focus more on your knowledge rather than your looks.
Boom.
And your talent rather.
Boom. Boom.
Yeah.
She just dropped the mic.
Just
you didn't see
for
it.
you to make a difference, you have to do
you can
it.
you do that. Do that.
Boom.
Yep, you just dropped the mic. She just dropped the mic on our show, Script to Screen.
I love your questions. They're
Cynthia,
so good.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. You are
for
awesome.
being a part of season 2.
I'm so proud
the show.
I'm so proud of this.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's been such an absolute pleasure having you on the show. I can't wait to have you again, maybe in season 3.
I would love it.
Where
Anytime.
you know there's this gap that's kind of passed, and
Yeah,
I would love to hear and get updates
and we
about
say,
what you're
look,
doing.
we did this, we did that.
What you're doing in 2018, because we are going to take 2018 by the neck.
I promise you that.
And we're going to own 2018.
And let's have this coffee tomorrow.
Absolutely. It's a done deal.
I'm so proud of you, Alan. Keep on doing this. We need stuff like this on the radio.
Thank you.
We need all the radio to be like this. I'm proud of you.
My listeners, thank you so much for joining us. Our watchers on the web, thank you so much for also joining us. Make sure you join me again next week for a brand new episode of Script to Screen, only on Radio Lebanon 96.2 FM. Make sure you subscribe to Anrami. You download the episodes on Anrami as well. We'll be up on YouTube very soon as well. You can follow me on Instagram at Alan Mehanna Official. Cynthia, your Instagram handle?
At Cynthia Khalifeh.
Cynthia Khalifeh on Instagram. Thanks again. Join us again next week. Alan Mehanna, Radio Lebanon 96.2 FM. This is Script to Screen. See you next week.
Bye.